Hey everyone. In this video, we're going to start in the basics of the project. So let's begin. So open up Unreal and we're going to create a blank project blueprint, and we're going to make it for desktop, maximum quality. And I don't like to add any starter content. I like to start clean. And we're going to give a name for the project. So we're going to call it my project. So it's a good name. Right, and then create. All right, so we start out with your basics. We have atmospheric fog, floor, light source, player, start, and sky sphere. And I'm gonna actually click this button here to change the sources panel to this view. Uh, this is just a personal preference. So what we need to do is create two things: our game mode and our character. The game mode script, which actually holds all the information like scores and so on, and HUD and your player, your main character, and so on. So let's create that. So we're going to go to blueprints, game mode, create game mode, and it's going to tell you where do you want to save it. So it's going to tell you, do you want to create a blueprints folder, which we don't have. I say yes. I'm going to call it my game mode. Okay. All right, so it opens this window and it's going to ask us, this is where you put your, set everything up for your game. So here you can do your default class and your HUD and you so on, and you play controls if you want different ones. We're going to change our main class. So let's close this and actually go ahead and create it. So we're going to open up blueprints and we can actually create it from here. We can right click, blueprints or blueprint class. And we're going to create a character, which is our player. I'm going to call it my player. Okay. Now we're going to open up my game mode once more. And I know it shows it different this time, but it can go back and forth between open full blueprint editor right here, which doesn't matter. But anyways, we're going to go into default pawn class and choose our player, which is my player. Okay, so that's that. And since we have a player start here, we can actually go ahead and hit play. But we can't do anything, of course, because there's no input or anything at all set up. So let's go ahead and do that. Now to do that is go to settings, project settings, and then we're going to go to input right here. And you'll notice we have action mappings and axis mappings. Action mappings is where you put any action buttons like jump or E key for activate things, and axis mappings is to the controls of movements and rotations and all those stuff. So let's go ahead and create one action mapping for jumping. So we're going to create the add button and we're going to call it jump, and then we're going to assign it to the spacebar. We just type in spacebar right here under keyboard. All right, that's perfect. And then axis mappings, we want to create the forward, backward, left, right, and mouse movement in the X and Y direction. So let's do that. Let's add, drop down, and I'm going to call this move forward. And in move forward, we're going to do the W key. So we just hit W and under keyboard W. And that's going to be in the positive direction or positive scale, so 1. We can add an additional 1. Oops, yep, that's right. And that's going to be the S key, so under keyboard S. And that's going to be in the negative, so we can move backward. All right, so that's move forward. We're going to create now a move left and right. Move right, left, and that's going to be the D key for keyboard. That's going to be positive, and then another one for the A key, but in the negative. All right, that's perfect. All right, now we're gonna do the mouse. So that's an easy one. We do a turn left, right, or right, left to keep consistent. And we're gonna set that under mouse in the X, and that's +1. And we're gonna add another one. Oops, not here. We can add another axis mapping, and it's going to be look up, down, and that's going to be mouse in the Y, but we're going to change it to -1. If you keep it +1, it will make the mouse look up inverted. So when you move your up, it's actually going to move down, and when you move your mouse down, it's going to look up. So to keep it consistent with first-person style, this is how you set it up. You move it into -1 to actually enforce the inversion, or the correct inverted mouse. All right, so we have this set up. Now we open up our character to actually implement those, the script. Now you'll notice in the my character we already have a like our collision box here, but we're not going to mess with that right now. Let's go into the event graph, and I'm going to go ahead and delete all these things right now. Keep it clean. Okay, we'll do the keyboard settings first. Okay, so we come here and say right click, and then we're going to go input, and you'll see that we have our action events, jump, and our axis events, the one we created. So we're going to start out with the movement, move forward, and then we're going to add movement input right here, and then we're going to get the control rotation, and then we're going to get the get forward vector, and then we're going to plug in this in the wall direction and this in the scale. So all that's happening here is saying once we hit the forward key, add the scaling to my forward vector from the player controller. Okay, that's perfect. And now we want to use the same controller and get the right vector. So this is for move right and left. And we're going to copy the add movement input once more and add the value in here. And then we're going to right click, get input, and go into our axis events, get the move right left, and I'm going to plug this here, a little bit for, and this here, and that should be it. So we can look cleaner, and then we're going to select them all. Right click, create comment selection, and I'm going to put here player input or keyboard input. Okay, now we're going to compile, save, and let's test it out. Just play. Alright, can move left and right, forward and backward, but I can't move the mouse or do my jump yet. So let's go ahead and set that up. Go back to my event graph in my player. I'm going to extend this just a bit, and we're going to add our jump. So right click, input, go to my action events and say jump, and I say when I hit the button I want to jump, so I type in jump, that's it right there, pawn character jump, and that's it. That's how it is for jumping. So let's go test it out. And there we go. Perfect. All right, now let's go do the mouse. All right, now we're going to come down here, and we're going to say input into my axis events, and I'm gonna do a look up and down, and I'm gonna say add control pitch. I believe it's pitch. Let's find out. So there we go. That's pitch. Perfect. And then we can still move and jump. But we still can't look left and right. So let's do that. Right, finally, we're going to create a new input. Axis events. Turn right, left. And this time is going to be add control yaw. Compile, save. Okay. All right, and there we have it. We have now controllers, the basic controllers for a first-person shooter. All right. If you like this video, please comment, like, and subscribe. There'll be future tutorials on everything that you saw in the first video that I have. So thank you. Bye.